Howdy folks, Rowdy here. Welcome to Foothills of Appalachia. In today's video, we're going to have a garden update and a tour around the home here and different things we have going. We hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so here's our garden we got tilled up last weekend. It's been a week since we planted our potatoes, and it's been raining most of the day today, and it rained yesterday. Rained hard and rained a lot. We have water still standing, so it's pretty muddy. If I waded out in there, I'd sink up pretty deep. But in our last video, we planted these potatoes right here, and it's been a week today since we planted them. And of course, they haven't had time to come up yet, but we're gonna have to get out here and start pulling up morning glories. We'll have a good crop of morning glories. They're pretty easy to pull up when they're this small. You just reach down and real gently and pull them straight up. You pull the whole root out. Just look at it right there. But you got to stay on top of it. They'll get ahead of you. And right here's my wife's potatoes in her watering tank that she bought. And it's been 4 weeks since we planted these potatoes, and they're doing real well. I've been keeping an eye on them every day. There's no bugs got on them yet. The largest ones over here is probably they're foot tall, I guess, a good foot tall. So they're doing real good. Got some little old-timey wagons over here that we put some petunias in. These were at my grandmother's house. They're made out of aluminum. They're very old. They're older than I am. But instead of radio flyer, they said on the side of them, I don't know if you can see that or not, they had greyhound down the side of them. And so we made flower beds out of them. Got 2 of them just alike. And in this big old black tub right here, this is I don't know how many gallons it is, but it's like you buy a tree in from orchard. It's pretty big, and I got my sweet potatoes in there to grow my sweet potato slips. And it's real simple to do. All you got to do is fill it full of soil, and I got 4 or 5 in there. I forgot how many I put in there. Let's scratch down here, see if we can find one. Yeah, there we go. It won't hurt to dig them up. As you can see, they kind of getting a little bit of roots on them there. It won't be too long. They'll be putting on sprouts and coming back up. I'll cover that back up real good. But I got about 9 or 10 inches of soil in here, and I've got them buried, probably covered up about 3 inches, not real deep, but I make sure they have plenty of water to keep the soil moist, and it gets warm enough them things to come out of there. And all you gotta do, once they start sprouting, let them get up about 8 or 9 inches tall, 10, something like that. Let them get pretty big, then all you gotta do is pull the slip off of it. I'll have a video on the sweet potatoes when they get to that stage, but all you gotta do is pull that thing off and set it out in the ground, and it'll take care of it. It'll grow you some potatoes. But you can plant a potato and it won't make potatoes. It just make vines. You got to pull the vine off and break what they call it, a slip. Set the slip out, and then it'll grow potatoes. It's unlike the regular potatoes, which you plant a potato in it, it'll make potatoes, but you got to plant the vine and make sweet potatoes. But we'll have an update on that when the time comes. This is about, my garden is probably between 35 and 40 feet wide and about 60 feet long. So that'll be a pretty good row of potatoes if they do well, and keep the insects, bugs off of them. We plan on having potatoes, and between that trellis and the potatoes, I'm going to have tomatoes, and then from there on over we'll just go with whatever. We have a strawberry bed. Let's see, they're starting to produce strawberries. Got a lot of green ones. They're turning. And we got another bed right here. It's got some onions and leeks in it that overwintered, and the onions are in full bloom, and I thought I'd try to save me some seeds off of those. And why go buy them if you can grow them yourself? Seeds are high this day of time. And right beside that we have some leeks. They overwintered. They're quite a bit different from an onion, but it's starting to have a pod on top of it too, and we'll try to save some seeds off of that. And have a cattle panel stretched across this thing right here. I usually put something to climb on it, cucumbers or beans or something like that. And usually put squash in this bed right here. I probably will. And right here I have another big tub. This is a mineral tub, like for cattle. It has mineral feed in it for cattle. It's a pretty big tub, but I have some carrots in here that overwintered, and they're big enough to harvest. I know those two right there are. They're pretty big, but I just got it filled with potting soil, and I keep it watered and I fertilized it real good. Look down in here. Yeah, you can see a little carrot there. Down in here, there's a pretty big one right in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. So anyways, that's our carrots right there. We'll make a round through the yard here and just show you what we have. Okay, right here we have some of our tame blackberries. They're about the size of an average wild blackberry right now. We've got several of those green ones. We got to get them cleaned out and the old canes pulled out and tied to get the new ones tied up. But these are what they call Primark Freedom blackberries. They were developed in Arkansas, and the prime stands for primocane, which is the new growth that comes up every year, like this one right here, brand new one. That thing will grow up. It'll grow up to this wire right here. That wire's about 4 feet high, and I'll tie it off, and they'll have blackberries the first year. And wild blackberry will have a primocane grow up, and it won't produce blackberries the first year, and the second year it comes back and called the floral cane, and that's when it produces its flowers, floral. But these produce the first year and the second year. But it's Primark Freedom, and the freedom stands for freedom of thorns, no thorns. That's just great. No thorns anywhere, and they're a really good blackberry. Right here's a little small cherry tree I set out, which is not old enough to produce anything yet. I can't remember what you call it. It's a red cherry. And over here it's an old-timey red cherry. They're small. They're just sour cherries, kind of like what you'd make a pie out of. They make good jelly. But they're producing cherries. They're almost the size of a marble, I guess, right now. But they're just an old-timey cherry tree. I got lots of fruit trees scattered around. I have a little apple tree right here. That's an Arkansas Black. It's going into its 3rd year. Got Macintosh apple here. It's the same age. Right here I have another apple tree. I think it's going in its 4th or 5th year. It's supposed to have been a Wolf River apple, which is a big red apple from way up north. It's a very old variety, but that's not what it is. It turned out to be something else. It has big yellow apples on it, but they're good apples. And I have right here a Honeycrisp apple. And that right there is a Wolf River apple. And I have a Fujou over here. A Mutsu over here. And back in the background, there's my blueberry bushes. Some of them, I got more too that I haven't set out. I need to get them out. And here's my little peach tree I showed in video in full bloom. The frost just about wiped them out. I got a few little peaches on it. Here's one right here. Yeah, there you go, you can see it. But there's a few on it, scattered here and there. Yeah, there it is. Hard to see out here in this bright sun. They're blueberries or putting on berries. They had a pretty good set. They're growing right along. If we can keep the birds out of them. The birds, they like them. I don't mind sharing with them, but they don't like to share. They just doing all they know to do. They're just trying to survive. Right here is a little flower called Buttercup. I had them up against the house there, and they just kind of keep spreading out, but they're a real pretty flower. Old-timey flower. Right here's one of my rose bushes. Has the pink flowers on it. It's pretty tall. It needed to be pruned real good, but I was late getting it pruned. I didn't want to cut all the buds off of it. It's just getting started good. You can see it's got some new buds there. And here's the little yellow roses. I had a big rose bush right here and it died back, and a bunch of little sprouts came up, and I'm glad I still got those. And the wife's flower bed here, we planted the vincas in, but we've been having a problem with the roly-poly bugs eating them up. I mean, they just chew them up. It's something after everything you got, but you can't give up. You just got to stay with it, stay on top of it. Here's our little yellow lilies. They're just getting started good. I like those, they're pretty. Here's some tomatoes and pepper that I started from seed, and they're starting to grow a little bit. Finally got them out of the house. I'm trying to harden them off a little bit. It'll dry up a little bit, I'll get them put in the ground. Now, here's my tiger lily. It's growing. It's doing well. Here's some more pepper my dad gave me. Put those out somewhere. Right here is one of my Bartlett pear trees. They were covered up with blooms in the springtime, but frost killed most of them, but there's a few little pears on there. Hopefully we'll have some pears to eat before long. Got cicada shells on here where them cicadas have hatched out. Nothing there but just a dry skeleton, just a shell. But there's thousands of these things hatched out. They hatch out every 14 years. I can remember, I think, best I can remember, 3 times I've seen these things in my lifetime. There's a lot of them. That roaring sound you can hear, that's them. Hotter the day gets, the louder they sing. And of course we'll make a walk by Daisy. She's over here in the shade, taking her a nap. She got her a nest built right here. Been napping after all the hard work she's done. She probably wanting a snack. Hey, Red. What's the matter, Red? You awful excited? Here comes Daisy for her snack. A midday snack. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Yeah. Hey, girl. She's moving slow. She's like me. When you get still, she can't hardly get up and go. So that's all we have for you today, folks, in today's video. We hope you have a great day, and thank you for watching.